What's going on, everybody? It's Matt and Justin here at the 208, enjoying this fabulous Sunday. I hope everybody is enjoying the weather as much as we are, and I hope the weather is nice where you're at. Plenty of sunshine, not a lot of clouds. We're loving it, and what a wonderful day to talk about some fantasy football. It is National Jelly Donut Day, so grab your jelly donut, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, file on in, and let's get started. Justin, what's up, my friend? It's good to see you.
Yes, sir. Just enjoying these days. It's nice that school's over. My in-laws came over to install a new bathroom, so that's what I've been working on the past few days.
Yeah, those are important. You got to have those.
Yeah, I really wanted a bathtub, so Amber made me decide between having a bathtub or having a riding lawnmower. So I chose the bathtub.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a correct choice. As much as it doesn't feel like it, that's probably the correct choice.
My backyard takes 2 hours to mow, Matt. Push mowing. 2 hours.
Well, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
So I just throw on a podcast, throw on us, listen to us for a couple hours,
Yeah.
just studying some film. What do we got to do better? What are we doing good? So
that's great. Revisiting what we do and helping those win their fantasy leagues. So, 100%. You know what, Justin? In addition to Jelly Donut Day, it's National Best Friends Day. So everybody, come on in, man. You're all our friends. So hit that like button, subscribe. We are here to help you win your leagues. Leave a comment below. What is your favorite jelly donut, or do you even like jelly donuts?
Dude,
that'd be a good one.
Dude, anything filled with stuff, dude, I'm just not about it. It's just not my prerogative.
Fun. Sweet. Well, heck, let's just jump right into it, my friend. Let's get into the news.
What's going on?
Fair amount out there. Justin, what do you got for us?
So a few things. Nick Chubb going to the Texans. Apparently, I think he has to pass a physical, is what I've heard so far. That makes for an interesting backfield. Chubb again is 30-31. I can't remember. Be interesting to see how that backfield goes, because they still have Dameon Pierce, correct?
Believe so.
So Dameon Pierce, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, quite a stable there. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll see.
I think so. It's still Joe Mixon. It's still the Joe Mixon show in there, in my opinion. Look, Chubb is. I will tell you right now how old Chubb is. I believe he is birthday in 95, so he's going to be 30 in December with bad knees. He's got bad wheels. And I know everybody saw the hype where he was jumping. Was he jumping over something? Might have been hurdles or something. That is vastly different. And he looked good. He does it way better than I do for sure. But it's vastly different than actually running and cutting and all that stuff. So it's still the Mixon show going to be there.
100%. Rodgers finally signed with the Steelers. I don't know, Matt, how you feel about that. I mean, we talked about the AFC North last week. Does this affect anybody on there? Does this raise DK? Does it raise any Roman Wilson, Pat Freiermuth, Caleb Johnson? Anybody?
I guess. So as much as I've been an Aaron Rodgers fan throughout his whole career, I really wish he would have retired. I really do. I don't think this helps the Steelers in the long run at all. Maybe short term, maybe it does something. He's an incredibly talented quarterback. He does the Aaron Rodgers his way, right? He's just like BK. He's just like Burger King. He does things his way. I just wish he would have retired. Let the Steelers figure it out. Let their rookie get some reps. Let things develop. They'll probably get an opportunity for a quarterback next year. If they do really well, right? It's not like Aaron Rodgers is going to play for another 5 years. I think it hurts him, but not my call. I'm not the GM there. I would have done things completely different, but I don't know. Your thoughts?
It definitely feels like they're just trying to get to 500 because, again, I still think Will Howard's going to play some games here. It doesn't feel like they're trying to win now. It just feels like they're trying to stay relevant, which I don't know. Like, I am a big proponent. Like, either I want my team to just go for it or I want my team to suck. Like, don't play this middle ground nonsense where they tease you when they're in the playoff hunt till week 16 or 17. And it's just like, that's how the Falcons were last year. And I'm just like, I would just wish you guys would have sucked. Like, if we're not going to make the playoffs, there's no reason to be in freaking 500. Like, that's just my opinion, though.
Yep. So we're very similar. I think it hurts him in the long run, but fair enough.
Ramsey's sitting out from Dolphins training camp. I think he will eventually get traded. James Cook is holding out. The funny things about James Cook holding out is the Bills offered him a contract before last year, and he said no. So now he went for all these touchdowns. He had crazy touchdown percentage. He wants to get paid. I think the Bills are going to kind of hold the line and say, we're not going to pay you. I think he very much will be a free agent next year. Sorry, Matt, you go.
We're going to talk a little bit more about him later in the show, so more to come on him. But yeah, agreed. Go ahead.
Dobbins visited the Broncos. Matt alluded a little bit to this before when we were talking before. He visited, didn't get a deal. It'll be interesting to see what that happens. Matt kind of had a take on the Broncos backfield.
Yeah, I think they're all in on RJ Harvey. I mean, I am all in on Harvey. Yes. Cash the check, especially in his ADP right now. I think it's going to climb even higher as we get closer to the season. But I am all in. And if you're just now tuning into fantasy football and don't eat this up year round like we do, keep a very close eye on Harvey. I like him a ton. And I think right now he's going 4th round. So yes, please, give me more. And we'll talk more about that as we do more breakdowns.
Correct. And then the last two things, Gabe Davis visiting the Saints. He's a best ball guy. That's all he's ever been. Just my opinion. He got cut by the Jaguars this year. I thought maybe he'd go back to the Bills. I mean, that's where he got the big fat contract from the Jaguars because he was Josh Allen's deep ball guy. So kind of interesting to see if he'll sign with the Saints. And then the last one, I think this was the day after our podcast, but Bateman from the Ravens got an extension. Not a crazy extension. It's around $12 million a year. So he got three years, $36 million, $20 million of it guaranteed.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Another best ball guy. Yep. Somebody can go in there. Again, Lamar does not throw for a ton of passing yards, but still one of the guys. And on certain days, certain games could blow up. But sweet. Anything else for the news, Justin?
That's all I got.
Nice. So again, what we're going to cover today, and it's right in the title. We're going to break down the AFC East. Lots of teams to look at. We're going to have some fun with it, and probably clue you on a couple of things that you may or may not know. But let's jump into it right now. So we got pulled up. So again, the AFC East, if you're unfamiliar with this, the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Pats. And this division did not do very well last year. Bills were the only ones to make the playoffs. And let's get right into it with the Dolphins. Last year they were 8-9. They missed the playoffs. They're the only. Again, they weren't the only team, but Justin, you predicted them. If with this record they're not going to make the playoffs, but you tell me at 7-10, your thoughts.
I really think this season could be a very, very bad season for the Dolphins. I could see them having a top 5 pick. I just don't know if this team's going to work out. Their offensive line is ranked 24th by PFF right now. They have a bunch of unknowns there. They have a left tackle that had a 44% grade. James Daniels coming back from injury. Their center was decent. Their right tackle is really iffy. We already have questions and marks about Tua. I just don't know if this team's going to be great. I could see this as McDaniels last season with the Dolphins, and I could see this being Tua's last season with the Dolphins realistically. It just feels like they've never gotten over that hump. It feels like a reset could be coming.
Yeah, and I think there's some rumors even going around about the head coach, right? Players not necessarily liking it. So we'll see. I tend to agree with this prediction. I believe they will not make the playoffs, but that doesn't mean there are players that are not fantasy relevant. And let's jump into that right now. So here's what we have. And again, these draft rankings, ADPs, whatnot, are from our friends at Fantasy Pros. So you can jump in there and take a look as well. Mind you, a lot of people aren't drafting redraft right now, right? A lot of best ball going on. But as of right now, we're going to talk about each one of these and whether we like them in their ADP. And we'll certainly revisit this. We'll see players move up and down as training camp comes out, as time goes down the road. So I want to start off with Tua. Tua is the number 21 ranked QB. His ADP is at 118 in the 10th round, Justin, around the 10th round. Is this somebody you are interested in and get acquiring at this late?
Probably not. He's not really a guy that I will target, even as like I'm in redraft leagues. I'm very much a wait till the very end to get a quarterback, and usually I'll double up on somebody that is going to give me consistent points, like a Jared Goff, Stafford, somebody like that, and then try to get like a boom bust player like Anthony Richardson was last year. That's what you're kind of looking for when I look at those redraft leagues. Again, each draft is different, but Tua is definitely not that guy. Too much injury risks. Not enough rushing upside for me either.
Yeah, agreed. I'll give you two quarterbacks right around this area that you can get, and one of them is going to be later, but you can potentially get Drake May or Dak Prescott. So no need to get Tua
Give me either of those guys. 100%.
Devon A-Chain, obviously we know about A-Chain, just in my mind, a boom or bust. And when he booms, it's like hitting a 600-foot home run. He is currently in the 7th position, ADP's 15th overall, 2nd round. Justin, your thoughts on A-Chain?
Can I ask you a question? How many games, like that boomer bust comment, how many games do you think he had less than 10 points? Out of 17. He played all 17 games.
Less than 10? Man. Maybe 4 or 5?
Yeah, 4 games were less than 10 points. Everything else, like he's getting you 15, 16 games a pop, which I didn't know this about Devon A-Chain until I started researching this episode. Man, like he's good running back. Like he's not getting a ton of rushes. The most rushes he got all year was 17, but he is killing it in the passing game. He is
a lot of checkdowns.
He is absolutely killing it in that aspect of it. And so if you're in a half PPR, a full PPR league, if you get him in the 2nd round, you pair him with a Bijan, a Saquon, a Gibbs, you're cooking with gas. Like he is a scary running back where they're going to be playing from behind. He's going to play a lot of check down roles like Matt talked about. I don't think Jalen Wright is going to affect his usage at all. I think they drafted another guy. It wasn't ETN. I didn't know which other running back they drafted out of. Maybe Matt could look up their depth chart real quick for me.
Yep.
But again, I am super excited. Again, the offensive line scares me, but like the rushing game is not where he is going to get his big points. It's going to be those checkdowns. We all know how fast he is. He's a freak. He is small, 5'9", 188, 190. Hopefully he bulked up a little bit. But I mean, I really like H-N this year, and that's not a sentence I thought I would be saying from like last year.
No, that's fair. And I'm gonna throw a couple of people in those spots in a second, just for context. So Ollie Gordon is the one you were talking about who they drafted out of Oklahoma State. HN did have 6 rushing TDs and 6 receiving TDs, had a little over 200 carries, but he did have quite a number of checkdowns, receptions for PPR. So to me, in that 2nd round, I like him, but I feel like there might be better value later, depending on the construct of what you want to do, right? So if, let's say you go, maybe you're kind of in that mid and you get, if you're lucky, you get, so maybe you're in that first part, maybe you get Justin Jefferson or Bijan Robinson. Do you circle back around and try to get A-Chain there? Or, right, so if you go Justin Jefferson, do you want A-Chan? Certainly, I think you would wait.
Who's around him? Who's 2 spots in front of him, 2 spots in back of him ADP-wise? Do you have that up?
So you got Drake London, A.J. Brown, Lad McConkey. Bucky's just a little bit later, a little bit further as Derek Henry. Brock Bowers is a little bit above him.
Yeah, I mean, I like him above a lot of those guys besides my guy Drake because I'm just a homer. Yeah. I love Drake London. He's my guy. Brock Bowers, probably not. More than Bucky, just in my opinion. There's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. I don't know. I think he's got a lot of upside this year. I think he's just a good running back. I just didn't think he'd be that great.
Yes. I do worry about, the only thing I worry about is that Ollie Gordon's a big back, right? And probably would have been, if he would have came out not last year, year before, would have been a higher draft pick. Could Ollie Gordon be the goal line back? And I do think they have to get Jalen Wright involved a little bit. I don't think you got to keep A-Chain healthy, right? And so I think that's you got to get those guys involved. Doesn't mean he won't be the big guy, but I do like it. I do like him. I just don't know if second. If I can pick him up early third, I'd be like, okay. But I guess late second, early third's the same. And maybe I'm just being picky, but
You're greedy.
I'm okay with taking him. I probably am being a little bit greedy. So. Here's what I'll say, because we'll talk about the next guy. If you're going to get A-Chain, get right. Be sure to cuff him. I think that's just for injury purposes. 14th round. I think that's more. There's lots of rumors about him getting a lot more work this year, and they're kind of similar in how they're both blazing fast. So
yeah, any running back, that's just a good tip that Matt kind of mentioned. If you take a running back that year, like maybe you're playing a hero RB kind of situation, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan, like try to always handcuff those guys because they're probably getting predominant of the work. So if you draft Christian McCaffrey, you should draft Garendo. Like those just come hand in hand together.
Yeah. Well, let's move over to the wide receiver group. Sounds like Tyree Hill's sticking around. I don't think he's going anywhere. If you want him, you have to get him in the third. And it sounds like he was playing injured last year with that wrist injury, and he just toughed it out, went through it, and still had decent numbers. I'm just pulling up his game logs real fast.
He was wide receiver 18 on the year, 59 overall. I mean, he
almost 1,000 yards.
Yep.
959 yards, 6 TDs. Some rushing gadget stuff. So he's still almost a guy, but he is, he's 31 years old. He just turned 31 in March, getting a little older, and this is where we tend to see the drop off. Give me your thoughts, Justin.
I just don't know. He feels like Derrick Henry to me. Like when is the speed going to go away? Like, is it Darrell Green? He played for the Commanders back in the day, and he was just fast till he was like 37. Like
he was very fast.
Like when they were doing the NFL fastest man, I remember back in the day watching that stuff. Like he was still winning them. Like I just don't know if Tyreek's speed is ever gonna fall off. I still like him a lot. Not necessarily the third round. I think his ADP will drop. I think it'll drop probably fourth, fifth round. And I think he's a good value there. But in the third round, I don't think he belongs there.
Yeah, guys that I would rather have, Marvin Harrison Jr., Rashee Rice, Breece Hall, even Chase Brown that goes a little later. I just let him fall. So somebody's going to grab him, unfortunately, in your garage league or your grandma league or whatever that looks like. But I'm probably avoiding Hill unless he falls to that fourth, fifth round and where it's really good value. Waddle. Give me your thoughts on Waddle being in the seventh round, Justin.
I don't know what to do with him. He had that such a good year. His first year over 1,000 yards, and it felt like he, like, at least in Dynasty, since I feel like that's what my focus is right now, he was such a high value after his first year, even his second year. Like, first year had 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Second year blew up 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns, and it just has gone down since. Is that because of quarterback play? Is that because Tyreek Hill has kind of taken over the mantle? Like at some point, like he's got to show up. He's only 26 years old still. Like I just don't know what to do with him. Like if he's your wide receiver 3, maybe, but like I don't know if you're drafting your wide receiver 3 if you're playing a 3 wide receiver league. If you're drafting your wide receiver 3 that early, he's a tough one for me. I don't trust Tua that much either.
Yeah, that is the big thing around it, but Tua is the big one. Around him, you have I just had it pulled up. You have Matthew Golden, Khalil Shakir, Jaden Reed, right? Najee's a little further down. Not that I really want Najee. So maybe do you gamble a little bit with him.
Shakir definitely has a higher floor, but Waddle does have a bigger ceiling, I feel like. But Shakir, you know what he's going to get you.
And I want to pull up his game stats here just a little bit, because if Tyreek does get injured, I mean, last year he did against New England. He had 8 catches on 9 targets for 144 yards and a touchdown, right? He was lacking in touchdowns, 750 yards and 2 touchdowns, which isn't great. But if something happens to Hill, there's potential for him, because he is a very good wide receiver. He's just not the go-to guy.
Yep.
So Westbrook is in here. I like Westbrook. He had the crazy few games where he kind of blew up, but undraftable right now. Jonnu Smith had a heck of a year last year, and there was some rumors about him being traded. Could he go to another team? There was I even heard maybe even Steelers were interested in him, but can he get the lightning to strike twice?
I don't know if he could do the touchdown thing again. Like, that was a little weird. Jonnu definitely is a gadgety player. It feels like when he got drafted, played well with the Tennessee Titans, goes over to the Falcons, has a decent year, but he had 8 touchdowns, like 111 targets, 88 catches, 884 yards. Like, finished as a tight end 4. Like, I don't know. That's gonna be tough to replicate again. Again, we'll see kind of what happens. It kind of felt like he took Waddle's production a little bit, especially in that touchdown area. He's not one guy that'll target, but like if worse comes to worse and he's dropping, I think he's a good pick.
Yeah, again, 8th round guy. Hard to pick. I think there's other guys that Ibuka's there, Mooney's there, right? There's some it just depends on where I'm at with tight end, if I went a little bit aggressive or not. If you waited on tight end, it's good. Again, remind you, he is going to be 30 in this is his birthday in August. So keep that in mind. But I'm not going to fade him if he's there and I need him. So it's good.
The Steelers are still, I think they're still actively trying to get him. He is going to hold out, from what I've heard, because he does want a new contract.
Farewell. And that's scary. If he holds out, that's a little bit of news for us, right? We don't like players that hold out. So if they held out too long, they get injured. It's the name of the game.
Correct.
Moving on. And so again, we don't think the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs. There's we're big on A-Chain Hill. A-Chain's the biggest one, which is obvious, but you can see there's not a lot of players for value in these areas. So moving on from the Dolphins, we got the Jets, 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 5-12 last year. Totally missed the playoffs. They were not good. Everybody knows that. They were a complete disaster with Aaron Rodgers, which blew my mind. I think a lot of people, they would do better. But Justin, you have them at 5-12 next year. Again, just kind of even with Justin Fields moving into the quarterback position. Tell us your thoughts.
So with a little bit of my bold predictions, these things that I have, like, I think this O-line's so improved. So they have the Olu Fashanu, they drafted last year, John Simpson, who's good, Tippmann, who's good, Vera Tucker, and then Mbu, who they just drafted out of Missouri. I think they can be halfway decent up front with all their young new additions. I think they're really going to have to rely on their run game. Again, I think they're going to get off to a pretty hot start. Just due to Justin Fields, people are going to have to adapt to him, kind of like how the Steelers did, and I think they'll kind of fizzle off a little bit. I think they'll get probably 90% of their wins in the first 8 weeks, and then probably teeter off a little bit.
Yep, I agree. I'm not high on the Jets at all. I don't think I'm, and we'll get into the players, but I think they're going to have another down season and some more early draft picks. But let's get into the players. I will tell you this, just looking at this is a 3-man team. This is Fields, Brees, and Garrett Wilson. The rest I could care less about. I don't think it's going to be, even with Taylor, Fields does not throw to he just never has throw to his tight end. Fields is going to be the scramble guy, run the guy. Can he produce Chicago Bears, where he ran all over the place, was RB1 or running a QB1 a couple of times, and made DJ Moore have his best season ever? So that's going to be the $1 million question with Fields in my mind. He's position ranked 15th, 107. I like him. I'm not afraid to draft him. I don't know that he'll be a league-winning quarterback when you want him, but I do like him. Ninth round.
Yeah, he's a good boomer bust guy. Like if you again take quarterbacks at the very end, I think he just because he has the rushing upside, that's only he's going to run the ball. So it's just cheap points to get when it comes to Justin Fields.
Yep. Again, I think you could wait for Drake May a little bit later. I think that I'm a little higher on May than Fields, but he could be that guy. I'm okay in that super flex. Maybe he's your second quarterback. Okay, I'll be all right with that. Breece Hall is our other guy, 12th ranked position, 33 ADP. Got to spend a third round right now to get him. Justin, thoughts?
The comments that Aaron Glenn made, their new head coach, are a little stressful. I just don't understand the Breece Hall hate. I will never understand it. He is a good running back, and I just don't know why the NFL doesn't see it. I realistically hope this is his last year with the Jets. I hope he goes somewhere else. It just resets. He's only 24 years old still. He's still young. He hasn't cracked 1,000 yards rushing, which is absolutely bonkers to me. Like, he's not small. He's fast. Like, he's all these things. And, like, I think Braylon Allen's going to get some work in this offense. And I think they're going to rely on the run game a lot more than the passing game with Justin Fields' ability. I just don't understand it. Just give Breece the ball. Give him 300 touches, and let's see what happens.
So here's the thing with Breece Hall. I'm actually pretty high on Breece Hall. I don't want to spend a third because my strategy. If I can get him in the fourth, I'll take him all day. Fields is a running quarterback, and he is. I know he can throw the ball too. I don't want to say he can't. He can, but he will open up lanes for a Breece Hall in my mind. And I'm like, yeah. So we'll be able. I'm hoping to see a much more higher target share. He had 209 yards rushing, 800 yards, a little over 876, but he only had 5 touchdowns. The problem is the Jets could never sustain a drive, like ever. So they were constantly 3 and out, but have to punt and all that stuff. He did have 3 touchdowns receiving, but I think he's going to be more involved than what people think. Garrett Wilson too will be too, but I like Breece Hall. I think he is a sneaky pick. And I think his ADP is going to drop further as we get closer. And so could he fall to round 5? Gosh, I really hope so. If it'll be late 4 for sure, but I like him. It's like, do not be afraid to draft Breece Hall. People are sleeping on him for sure. And I like it. Jets are terrible. It's all Fields. But get Breece Hall. I like him. Go get him. Smash it. Do it right now. Right? Put it in your back pocket. Get Breece Hall. So I will agree with you. I think Braylon Allen as well. I think you can cuff him. They probably will get him some work. He's a talented back out of Wisconsin, and I like him. He just hasn't got a chance yet. Yep. Thoughts on G. Will, Justin? I know I'm going to give your 2 cents for sure first.
He is such an enigma. He's like Waddle, but worse. I don't understand how he finished the wide receiver 10. It was a really weird year for wide receivers. Again, he had 154 targets, 101 receptions, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. Not a crazy year, like a very good year. Don't get me wrong, but like in me and Matt's dynasty league that we have right now, I could never start him. I just couldn't. The wide receivers that I had, so I traded him away this off season. Like I'm kind of over it. I don't think he's going to be anything more than a wide receiver 2 for the rest of his career. He will continue to be in quarterback purgatory because the Jets are a poverty franchise and they will not draft a quarterback. So again, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't think him and Justin play together at Ohio State. I don't know if that will rekindle some things. But again, I'm kind of out on him. Again, in the second round, he has no business being there.
Yeah, I like Garrett Wilson too. I just think it's too high right now. I do want to pull up. Let's go back and see, because I should have had it pulled up. Should have been a little more prepared. But you know, when we were live, we just do what we do. I want to look at DJ Moore.
Oh gosh.
I want to look and see his stats were going back just a few years ago, and
with
really
Phil.
had his best year. And so in Fields, it was at 2023, I believe.
Yep.
So he had 136 targets, 90 receptions, 1,300 yards, and 8 TDs. Is that any different than what he just had with Aaron Rodgers, other than more targets?
Close. It is pretty dang close.
So I know he's up there. So maybe where he finished is where you're going to get, right? I think it's what I'm trying to say is it's fair to say he might be where he was last year. So that's a good gauge, right? That's a good spot to go, okay, where did he finish? And you told me, Justin, and I already forgot, where did he finish last year?
Wide receiver 10.
So he was wide receiver 10. So if he's wide receiver 10, do you want him in second round? No.
That's where he should go. I mean, he's right at that turn. Like in a 12-team league, he's right at the turn. At that 212, that 3-1 spot. So like,
yeah,
you want to take someone with the 212 and then take him in and say, hey, I got Garrett Wilson in the third? Sure, go for it.
So depending on your construct, would you rather have Bucky or Garrett?
Oh, gosh. I think Bucky.
Yeah, me too. I'd take Bucky. Would you rather have T. Higgins or Garrett?
T. Better quarterback.
Better quarterback. So that's it's a number 2 wide receiver versus a number 1 wide receiver, right? But I got it. Would you, a little bit later, would you rather have JSN?
Oh, gosh.
These are tough, right? These are fair questions.
I don't want to take either of them. I think JSN, he's the one. I think he's in a better offense. I don't know.
Okay, and I'm going to give you 2 more, right? Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Yes, give me. People are too low on Marvin Harrison. They're too low on him. He's going to be good this year.
And I'll give you one more. Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice or Jiwo?
I think I'm going to go Garrett Wilson, dude. Coming back from ACL scare the crap out of you with wide receivers.
It's tough. All I'm saying is you don't have to lock him in at that back end too, right? And if you got two, a back end 2 and an early 3, whatever, just keep in mind, keep your options open. Let the draft come to you. To me is a little bit high, but as far as Lazard and Corley, I don't want any piece of those. They're undraftable. And then we already talked about Taylor at 7. He's a 280p tight end. This is a 3-headed monster for the Jets. It's Fields, Hall, and Wilson. Plan accordingly. Maybe they'll do well. Maybe they won't, and we'll just kind of go from there. Moving on, the Patriots. Patriots had a rough year. So 4-3, they missed the playoffs. Now Justin said they're going to be 9-8 with a 9-8 record. It's plausible that they can make the playoffs. Fill us in, Justin. What are your thoughts?
So just give a little background. So they hired Mike Vrabel, who's probably one of my favorite NFL coaches. So some context about why he got fired with the Tennessee Titans. So he went to the Patriots Ring of Honor situation, and he gave a speech, and he says, "Hey, this is the Patriot way. They do things differently here. This place is special than any other place that you have ever been to." When he was currently the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, the owner did not like those comments. He gets put out when the roster that Tennessee had when they were 1 seed, when they went to, I think, maybe 2 AFC championship games, they had no business. Like, they were riding Derrick Henry, but, like, Ryan Tannehill was the quarterback of those teams. They didn't have a lot of good wide receivers. Corey Davis was their number 1, who's out of the league now. But I think Mike Vrabel is going to coach up this defense. They spent $1 bajillion on defense. Usually doesn't translate. I trust Mike Vrabel a lot when it comes to evaluating talent, especially on the defensive side. Josh McDaniels comes in. He can run an offense. He can't be a head coach, just so we're clear. He can run a decent offense. He's just not a head coach, and that's okay. Like so that some dudes are just supposed to be OCs, and he's a pretty dang good one. I am very high on the Patriots. I really like the Will Campbell pick. Wherever you see Will Campbell, he is a good NFL player. Whether that's at guard, whether that's at tackle, he is going to be a culture setter at whatever spot he plays. He's going to set it and forget it wherever he plays.
Nope. Yep, I agree. I actually agree with this prediction. I think people are going to be. There's a lot of hopes for the New England fans, right? And I do like they're going to see a massive jump. And we're going to talk about the players. Why? I 100% agree with you. Let's jump right to the players, and we'll talk about each one. Drake May. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like Drake May when he came out of college, but I liked. I didn't like the coaching staff. I hated what they were doing, what they were trying to do. It was driving me crazy. It was terrible. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way he was set up coaching staff. Now, right, the tides have turned. Right, there's tides of change are moving. Right, as they say. I like Drake May in the 10th round. He's a steal. He's an absolute steal. And they're trying to put weapons around him. And man, have they. You just said it. They improved the offensive line. They've given him a running back. They've given him a couple wide receivers, which we're going to talk about. Drake May is a steal. Now, will he be a top 10? It's very possible. Very, very possible. And you get him in the 10th round at 116 ADP. I already alluded to it. I like him better than I like Fields. So, yes, please give me some. And that position rank 19th is stupid. That is way, 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 way too low. He is easily a top 12. He's going to be a top 12 quarterback for sure. So go get him.
Matt has done my bold prediction. I think he cements himself as a QB1 in fantasy football. He will be a top 12 guy. He has enough rushing upside. Like, guys, he played 13 games and he had 400 yards rushing. Like, that's easy 500, 6 maybe. Like, they're gonna run him. All his brothers played college basketball. He is a freak athlete. He's 6'4", 225. He is the closest thing that we are going to get to Josh Allen, to Herbert. He is prototypical the same way as those two dudes.
He threw in 14 games. He threw for 2,200 yards. Name his wide receivers. Right? That's my point. He didn't have anybody to throw to. Pop Douglas? Okay, whatever. Right? No, he's got a couple of very good wide receivers now. I'm all in on Drake May. So, moving on to the running backs. Interesting, and I like it. And I liked it. It kind of made me mad because I wanted the Bears to draft TreVeyon Henderson, and they took him the pick before. I'm like, oh. But I like TreVeyon Henderson a ton. He will be, in my mind, and it might be a combo, but I do like that they've picked him up. I think he's going to be the guy. He is the 5th overall position rank, which I might be a bit high in my mind, but the ADP is 59. You can pick him up in the 5th round. That offensive line is tremendously better. He can catch the ball, and he runs hard. So, Justin, your thoughts on Hendo?
So I think the biggest thing when because I'm a psycho when it comes to the draft. It's my favorite time. Falcons suck usually, so I have to be kind of all in. I think Matt can attest to that. Like, the Bears usually not being good, so we have to buy into the draft because that's our Super Bowl. TreVeyon Henderson. If you got to watch any of his, I think he was his true freshman year at Ohio State. Just a freak. He's got the juice, whatever you want to call it. Like, he's that guy. He has gotten some comps to Gibbs a little bit. His pass protecting is probably the thing that he got talked up the most about. So it's going to be hard to take him off the field. Stevenson, let's talk about that just a little bit as why I think Henderson will be that guy. I think TreVeyon's going to take over this backfield. Probably 70-30, 65-35 split, whatever you want to call it. He will take over that because of his pass blocking. He never fumbled the ball in college. He never fumbled. That is really hard to do at a college like Ohio State with as many carries as he had. A 3-year starter. I know he split with Junkins a little bit. Stevenson had 6 last year. 6. Like, this is absurd. So I think Vrabel's to be like, you know what? Like, Stevenson, if you fumble, like, you're in the doghouse. Like, I think there's going to be a very, very short leash on Stevenson.
Yep, I agree. Again, and Stevenson had 41 targets for 33 catches, right? 168 yards and one touchdown. It's not going to surprise me if Travion just takes us over. Some people say that Hendo is a gadget running back. No, he's not. I'm very, very comfortable getting Hendo with value in that 5th round. This is probably a good time to say it. If there's ever a year to go 0 RB in your draft, this is the year to do it. There's so much value at running backs in these later rounds. It's crazy. And Hendo's about the spot that you would pick if he goes 0 RB. So keep that in mind. And you can pick up Diggs or Stevenson later if you wanted to back up. So I think we're on the same page, Justin. Right now, current value of 5th round, I'm okay picking him up. I just want to see who's around him real quick. Like Kamara, Jordan Addison, Calvin Ridley, Chris Olave, right? Chris Godwin, Hubbard, Roma Dunze. Do you see the value? In my mind, there's a ton of value there. So
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on Williams. Give me the thoughts on the rookie.
Gosh, I love
before I get to Diggs.
I love Kyle Williams. I think he's gonna be good. Like, he's already taken a lot of spots. I think me and Matt were both really high on Polk and Baker last year, and they were just a really big disappointment. I can't believe Kayshon Boutte was relevant last year because I thought he was going to get cut, which is kind of nuts. I think Kyle Williams is really good. I don't think Kyle Williams will be the one. I think Diggs is going to hold that down pretty easily this year. But I think he is a really good, maybe later on, add if he's on waivers, if your league isn't that big. I don't know if he'll go in the 12th round. I don't know if he'll be drafted in all seriousness. But I think Diggs will have a really good year. I think he works really well with young quarterbacks, and he usually gets a lot of he's just really good at getting open, and I think he'll be a really good security blanket for Drake May.
Yeah, this wide receiver room is very interesting right now, and I'm just going to read them to you. So you kind of got Diggs, Douglas, right? Diggs, Pop Douglas, Kyle Williams. You have Boutte, Hollins, and Bourne, Polk, Baker, and I want to talk about Chisholm. There's 9 guys. You typically only keep 6 on a roster. So, I mean, man, we all love Polk. He was good. We loved Baker. Chisholm is a rookie. That kid's phenomenal. He's already getting rave reviews out of camp, which is really, really good. Hollins is your veteran guy, nearly 30, walks around on the turf and grass barefoot at practice. Is pretty funny. Bourne did a little bit, and Boutte did good. So they got some decisions to make out of this wide receiver group of who they're going to keep and what they're going to do and what they're moving forward to. But again, a lot of these guys are late. I think you can get, a lot of those ones are undraftable, but I just wanted you to keep an eye on them. I still really like Baker. I'm a big fan of his. I think he can do a lot. I like Chisholm too. The rest are probably not drafted, but I'm with you. Even though the Diggs issues, whatever, they're going to hold on to him at least for a year. But if Drake May is going to have a season, these receivers are going to have to pop for him. So
one more thing,
keep that in mind.
Just to add on that, let's talk about the offensive line. Matt kind of alluded to it. So they added Will Campbell. They have him penciled in at left tackle right now. But they also signed Morgan Moses. He was a Jet last year, who can play left tackle, right tackle a little bit. They signed Garrett Bradbury as well from the Vikings. He was a good center, young. And then they drafted Jared Wilson, center out of Georgia. So I think this.
I like Wilson.
I think this O-line will be supremely better than last year.
Yep, 100% agree. I'm a big fan of Wilson. He is a very promising rookie, and they made all the right moves for that offensive line. Hunter Henry, 137 years old, seems to be the security blanket when needed.
He's sick. Hunter Henry, man.
Yeah,
he's sick.
It seems like we were talking about every week. He is 30. He's 30 years old. He'll be 31 in December. Just seems to be Mr. Consistent. 97 targets. He had 674 yards with 2 touchdowns. He's going to be a late guy if you need somebody. Okay. Hopefully Drake May can get him a little more involved, but he certainly did get his fair share for a late tight end. Moving on. The Bills. Everybody knows the Bills. We all love the Bills. The Bills. 13-4. They were a playoff seed, number 2. And Justin, you have them losing one more game. Very close, but to 12-5. What are your thoughts? Why 12-5? A little bit less. Still make the playoffs though.
I think this division will be a little bit better. I can see the Patriots actually still in the game from them. Again, I think the Dolphins will go down. The Jets will go down. Again, they're playing a first base schedule like they have. They didn't do anything this year. I don't know. Like they didn't sign anybody. Like it's just kind of status quo, which is a little concerning. They signed Bosa, which I don't know. There wasn't anything that I was like, whoa, but like it just feels like they're kind of status quo.
Yep, agreed. Trying to get over that hump in the playoffs is their goal, and it doesn't feel like they've really tried hard to do it. But I agree with you. 12-5, they'll definitely make the playoffs. Josh Allen is not going to let them fall. There, guy's just amazing. I saw a video of when they drafted Bills. There's a group of guys sitting there and they're waiting who the Bills going to draft, and then they announce Josh Allen, and they're like, "Oh, what are we doing? Oh, my, what?" It's so funny if you happen to see it. It cracked me up. Here's the bill. Here's what they got Bills. Again, this stuff will move. We understand that. Not a lot of people are drafting to redraft, but we just want to get some stuff out there for you. Josh Allen, no problem. He is the number one ranked quarterback. ADP 20. He is a second round guy. I have zero problems if you were drafting him in the second if you don't like somebody. I'm going to say that again. It is okay to go QB early if you don't like anybody, right? Don't go, I'm always QB late or I'm always QB early, right? You have to play the draft. Let it come to you. Let it come to you. Let it feel, let that zen come through, right? And you'll be fine. But I'm okay with Josh Allen going in that second round. Justin, let's go and move immediately to the running backs. Cook, let us know what's going on. What's going on? We alluded to it earlier in the show. What's going on with Cook, and do you like him in that fourth round?
So he won't attend minicamp. I don't know if he'll attend training camp. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Again, the Bills, before the season began, before he had this crazy season, they did offer him a contract. I think it was like 2 or 3 years, like at least top 5 back money, and he said no. So they're like, all right, whatever. We're going to move on. And I think that led to the Shakir signing and a couple other signings. I think Ed Oliver got some money as well. They signed some other guys because James Cook didn't want to sign his. So they're like, all right, we'll just move on to the next guys. That's fine. James Cook, he is, again, an enigma. Matt, he's played 3 seasons. Besides his 16 touchdowns this year, which is absolutely ridiculous for a 5'11", 190 running back. Tell me his highest touchdown total from those previous 2 years.
I'm going to be honest. I cheated. I already know.
Ah, Matt! Oh,
2.
It's bad.
He had 2.
It's bad. It can't be that extreme. Maybe it regresses to 8, but that's quite a bit of points. Again, he finished in the year before last, so 2023. He finished as in PPR, I should say, as the running back 12, and then he finished as the running back 8. But he had 16 touchdowns. 16 touchdowns.
He wants to be paid like a top 5 running back, and he is not a top 5 running back. That's not him. They're not going to pay him. That's not what the Buffalo Bills are going to do. If he sits out, and we've said this 100 times on this show, if a player sits out and it goes through training camp, they hold out. We avoid them at all costs because they get injured. They're not productive. If you want some evidence of that, it's not hard to look at the 49ers who did that because of contract disputes. And you had a couple wide receivers that did it and they got hurt. So I'm just telling you, that's the way it works. They're not engaged. They want this. They want that. If it's Debo is one of them. So just understand that.
Correct.
I know he was over 1,000 yards, 16. He had 16 touchdowns, 2 receptions, 18 touchdowns total. This is why I'm avoiding Cook. I don't want him. I'm going to avoid him at 4th. There's way other players that I like way better. Like I can get Josh Daniels or Josh Daniels. I get Jaden Daniels there if I want. I'd rather have the quarterback there. I'll be honest. You're gonna think I'm nuts. I'd take Hampton over him.
Oh wow!
right? I would, because I don't like the holdout. I don't like that value is way too high for me. I'm probably not taking Hampton there, but I would. Xavier Worthy's there a little bit beforehand. I'm trying to think who else is there, but there's other players that I like much more. So just keep that in mind. If we don't like Cook, thoughts on Ray Davis, to get him in the 13th round? Do you like him?
It's just weird to me that a running back had 16 touchdowns in an offense with Josh Allen. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's like Jalen Hurts having 4 touchdowns. I mean, I guess Saquon had a ton of touchdowns, like, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't match up for me.
You can't compare Saquon and Cook, though.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the Eagles won a Super Bowl, so, like, it was on Saquon's back. But it just doesn't make sense. There's going to be some type of regression there. Whether it's extreme all the way back to 2 or to 4 or to 8, whatever it is, I think it's going to have a pretty big indent. And I think he's made the Bills organization pretty mad where they're like, hey, let's try Ray Davis and see what we have.
Yep. And I like Ray Davis. I think Ray Davis is an absolute steal in the 13th round. In this offense, absolutely. I hope Cook leaves, sits out, and gives Ray Davis an opportunity. He's 220 pounds, 25-year-old, 5'8". Yep. Please, Ray Davis there. And I really do think the Bills will say, that's fine. Cook and enjoy. Go cook somewhere else. We're going to lean into Ray Davis. We like him. Again, he didn't have a ton of carries. He did have 3 touchdowns, 444 yards on 113 carries. So 3.9 on the average. Not bad, but he just let him work. Let him cook. In that offense, if he got 5 more touchdowns and let's say 8 touchdowns and maybe, gosh, even if it was like 700 yards, 800 yards, and you got him in the 13th round, get out of here. I'll take that all day. But keep in mind, his ADP will go up, but I'll still take him if it climbs and climbs and climbs. So Ray Davis, write it on a piece of paper, put him in the back of your mind. Go get Ray Davis at this late. He is an absolute security blanket. I love him. He's going to ball out for you. Justin, let's talk about the wide receivers a little bit. We talked about it at the very beginning of the show. Nothing pops out at you, right? Nothing's like, Shakir got paid. Give me your take.
Yeah. So Khalil got a 4-year deal, $60 million. So awesome. BSU alum, just a dog. One of my favorite players ever played BSU. Again, 76 receptions, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like, nothing crazy, but he was the leading receiver for this team. All right, let's just address the elephant in the room, which is Keon Coleman. Freak at Michigan State, freak at Florida State when Florida State won undefeated. He left out of the college football playoffs. He's made some things where it's like, well, I was coming back from injury. That's why I didn't play that well. His separation rate just wasn't good. His snap percentage felt like it was just all over the place. Like 1 week it's 73, next week it's 31, then it's 64, then it's 79, then it's 66. It just like, I don't understand what he is. Can he play outside like as a big X, or can he play in the slot, which is already occupied by Khalil? Was he just like a big slot, which what the Falcons use with Drake London, what the Rams will probably use with Puka and Devontae? I don't really know what his role is on this team. It feels like they have a bunch of puzzle pieces on the receiving end that I don't know what they're going to do. I love Josh Palmer. I think he's a really good player. I think he was really good with the Chargers. I think he's a sneaky boom bust guy in the 14th round. Love him.
Yeah, I agree with you. Shakir's too rich. Again, it's really odd with Shakir. Again, love the Boise State shout out there. But he had 100 targets, 820 yards, only 4 touchdowns, which really odd for this offense, right? The whole entire offense went through Cook and Josh Allen. Like, they didn't really work on the receivers. So you would think that they would go draft a high receiver, and they didn't do it. I don't know if they must think that Coleman's going to be the guy, but again, only 100 targets, and then Coleman had like 50 some. It's pretty wild. So I don't know. I just don't. I think I'm going to stay away from the receivers from Buffalo. So we'll see. I don't know. I could be wrong. Coleman might be at the 10th round, maybe. Palmer, maybe, but I think I'm going to stay with it. I do love Curtis Samuel, who's still with the same old C, but same old OC that he's had before, but they didn't use him last year. And then when we get to the tight ends, we loved Kincaid on this show last year. We were all about it. Boy, were we wrong. We were wrong. And now I think Kincaid's probably a tight end 2, right? If you can get him late, you're like, I don't know if you can get a second one in the 12th, but he's not horrible, but he didn't do much, unfortunately.
No. It's just sad. Just kind of like broke my heart. I was like, man, I just wanted him to be good. He only broke 50 yards 3 times. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we're a year early. That's my hope, is maybe we're just a year early, and maybe this is a year. I think we've gotten spoiled a little bit with tight end breakouts, where it feels like tight ends should break out year 4, year 5, where like we've seen Brock Bowers and Sam Laporta just really spoil us a little bit. So maybe we're just late on Kincaid.
No, it's true. I'm not giving up on him yet, but man, it's tough. Anyway.
Correct.
That is the AFC breakdown, my friends. Thanks for hanging with us, Justin. We will probably come back next Sunday. We'll be back at it. We're going to hit it again, I believe. We will have another show for us. But any final thoughts? Hopefully Chance can be with us next time. If everything all goes well. But any final thoughts?
So I forgot to mention with the Dolphins, I'll go back to my Achane drama, my big written essay about Achane. So he was 31st in EPA. So that's just expected rush, like, yardage. So 31st. So that means your O-line was bad. Like, you're getting hit before the line of scrimmage, probably most of these runs. So he's 31st last year. So that means he was running behind a really bad offensive line. I don't think the offensive line is going to be that much better, but like maybe he can bust some more runs. I don't think he'll finish 31st again. But again, that just shows you how much work he was doing in the passing game to make him relevant. So if he's just a little bit better in the run game, he will be a huge difference for you guys.
I like it a lot. Well, I think we're going to sign off, everybody. Hey, and again, this is meant to be interactive. We would love for your questions. Like, if you got questions throughout the chat, let us know. Hanging with us. Again, we are here to help you win your leagues based on what we see. And we're just a couple of guys that love football. We talk about it. We both coach football. We see it all the time. It's all different levels, just have a lot of fun with it. So I guess until next time, we will see you next time. And remember, it's National Jelly Donut Day. Have one before your time runs out. All right, everybody. Peace out. Have a wonderful night.